Alright, what's up, everybody? How's it going? How's life? Hope everyone's doing good. Let me just start off by saying if you even clicked on this video, then you're the greatest, and I appreciate you sticking with me as I, uh, you know, pretty much make anything from drawings to Inktobers to comic books to YouTube videos. I just do all this because I enjoy it, and yeah. So I figured I would just throw on a drawing in the background and just talk about whatever. It could be what's on screen, or it could be what I'm currently enjoying. It could be whatever I'm watching or playing, because I am usually watching or playing mini games at this moment in my life, mainly because I am currently taking care of my newborn son. He's 3 months now, but when you have a baby, there's not a lot of mobilizing. You're basically sitting in one spot next to the baby, and throughout the whole day. In my case, I just pretty much stay up all night. My wife and I have this sort of uh, schedule where she's going to go to sleep at like 9ish, 9 or 10, and then wake up at 6. And during that time, I'm awake taking care of the little one as he awakes, and if, there's anything that needs to be done. And I enjoy it. I'm able to get some work done while he's asleep and all that. That's mainly how I got all of Inktober done. But all that being said, I'm a freaking dad now, and that's kind of insane to me. It's been the best, it's been the best thing ever, because uh, there's so many different things I could just literally spend a whole one of these videos talking about him. I mean, obviously any parent could, but just my one favorite thing right now that's happening is whenever I kind of get into his view and he makes eye contact with me, it's almost like an instant smile, and that just totally lightens up my world, and it's awesome. He's sitting in a little swing, sleeping right next to me, and it doesn't seem like he's waking up to my voice, so that's pretty sick. But yeah, no, that's so my life has changed a little bit, and it's changed for the better, and there's a lot going on, but I'm just kind of rolling with it. Speaking of rolling with it, I went to my brother's house about a couple weeks ago, and he let me try his cruiser skateboard. I'm not normally the skater type. I grew up with a regular sort of shaped skateboard. I'm not the best in kind of defining what is what. But yeah, nah, dude, I got on this cruiser skateboard, and it's actually the best thing ever for an old guy like me. I'm 30 now, so, and I'm not trying to like bust tricks, but riding, just like kind of cruising, that, like it says in the name, I can really get down with that. However, I decided to get a little too brave. I got a little cocky within an hour of riding it for the first time. And there's a skate park by my brother's son's my nephew by my at my nephew's elementary. He has a skate park next to it, and within an hour of writing this thing, I'm like, all right, let me drop in to the bowl. I'm basically Tony Hawk. I've ridden this for an hour, and so I rolled in, and I rolled around. It's like you roll in and then you roll into another deeper bowl, and then you can basically like ride it and go around and roll back up out of it. And the first time I did it, I was pretty successful. No, I got a little shaky, but I made it. I'm fine, and everything's good. But the second time, my sister-in-law came up and was like, "All right, let's record it, and you can clear it." And I'm like, "Dude, yeah, that would be so sick to have a video of that." So I'm good. I cleared it. I know what I'm doing. I get back at the top of the roll-in, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. Hit record. And then I start going, and I'm rolling in. and I got the first one down. And I mean, the way I explain this, I sound like the worst skater ever, but I mean, I basically am. I haven't skated within like 10, 15 years of my life. So I got into the second roll. I rolled into the bowl, and if those of you that have been on a skateboard, I'm sure you recognize the feeling of when the trucks start like shaking a lot, and it's not like something that you can control. It's just the board is kind of losing, um, I don't know, losing its way, you know, and so that started shaking. And as soon as you get to that feeling, as soon as you feel that in your feet, I felt my like heart sink, dude. I was like, okay, well, I'm done for. The board shoots out from under my feet, and like an idiot, what do you think I do? I put my hands out first to brace my fall. But notice that, well, you can't really notice. I mean, I guess I could put the fall up on screen, but yeah, you're going to notice that I just try to brace myself with my hands, which is a dumb idea because once I did that and it was all over with, my brother was like, "No, you got to put your arm around and use your shoulder and that's how you like roll." And I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about, "Oh my god, this is like my last moments. This is it." And so I'm just like in survival mode doing whatever I can to like protect my head. I mean, I wasn't very smart for not wearing literally any padding, but I didn't anticipate going into a skate park when I left the house on a skateboard. I was just gonna ride over to my nephew's school and pick him up with my brother, but you know, things change, and that was kind of the outcome. So now I'm rocking a brace on my left hand. My left hand was fractured at the wrist, so now I can't really move it around. Very smart thinking on my part, seeing as my whole career pretty much relies on my left hand, but that's alright. It wasn't too bad. I just gotta wear this dumb brace for the next month and a half. Um, well, a month, the doc just said. There was a month left. Sorry, I'm in the middle of an extreme stretch. But, yeah, he said there's a month left. But he did give me the go-ahead to remove it whenever I want to draw a piece. So we'll see how that works. I've been kind of winging it the past 2 weeks. I'm pretty much like, I can sketch. I can do really, really light, rough sketches. And kind of get the composition down and everything, but as far as what you're seeing on screen here, it takes a lot more control when I want to do like inking and everything, so I gotta wait until I'm better. But yeah, I got the okay, and I can take it off, and I haven't done that yet, but yes. Anyways, so that's what's happening right now with my life. I have a son and a fractured hand, and all while I'm trying to work out on some Inktober stuff, and I have a Kickstarter, and that's gonna be a whole different video. I'm gonna make these pretty short, 10 to 15 minutes, maybe, I don't know, unless you guys request longer. I could definitely go for longer, but I just figured it would be pretty sick to throw on a drawing in the background, and that drawing is Makima from Chainsaw Man, and this is one of my favorite pieces that I've done, and I just wanted to kind of immortalize it on my YouTube in a real-time type of way. And I will get to Chainsaw Man in a second. The anime, it just came out, and I want to talk about that real quick. But first, I want to talk about, you probably noticed I have been uploading a lot of shorts. They're just all of the TikTok slash reels that I've done over the past couple years, and putting those up on here helps me kind of get another audience and all that. So if you already follow me on other platforms and have seen these, I am sorry for the double content. I mean, it's all gonna kind of sync up once I get back into making drawings and everything, and it'll just like get posted everywhere. But I also want to do these sort of longer form videos where I'm just talking about whatever, and I have probably my favorite pieces are going to be being drawn in the background of these videos. But yeah, I figured Makima was a pretty good one to start with, mainly because freaking Chainsaw Man came out and the first episode dropped. And I gotta be honest, I'm not one of those who read the manga. I have been a little bit busy. I would have loved to read it, but I dipped my foot in and liked it. But you know what? I mean, I've made it this far. The anime's out now. I might as well just experience it in full blown map of glory. And I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I can consume this amazing story through animation and music and all of that. Uh, because it was amazing. That first episode was absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, from the animation to the sound effects to the acting, to the voice acting. But I see a lot of people talking about the 3D, and I think it was adequately done for this. You gotta look at the character Chainsaw Man as a design. Like, it's a very sort of complicated design to be drawing in perspective and getting all of these different angles because it, I mean, from my point of view, at least from my perspective, um, trying to nail the direction of the chainsaws on his body in every single frame could I feel like it would just be take way longer than if they just made a model that could be a skeleton to whatever the scenes are gonna represent. So I can't tell you whether they made the model and then also supplemented it with drawing over it, or it was just a model itself. But whatever they did, it fit the scene, and it didn't really take me out of the immersion. Um, I think it's fine we're moving into more 3D animation. It really does make those moments where it is 2D hand drawn a lot more worth it. You really appreciate it more. And I guess it's just the way the industry's going, but, I'm not too bent out of shape about it. But yeah, Chainsaw Man was amazing, and I'm excited to see where it goes. It's crazy the hype behind this manga before it even became an anime. It's got to be the most amount of hype I've ever seen for something that doesn't even have an anime. And now that it does, this thing is gonna explode. And we're living in the best timeline right now. That's just how it goes. But yeah, Chainsaw Man. Go watch it, go check it out, and let me know. Let me know what you guys think. There are other animes that dropped that I've been watching, like the new My Hero season. Um, Bleach, I really kind of forgot about Bleach, and I decided to just kind of jump into the Thousand Year Blood War with no kind of recap or anything. And I mean, for the first episode, it didn't really feel like I needed a recap. It just kind of jumped right into it and hit me with the title cards for every character. Now I remember who everyone is, and I forgot how freaking badass Uryu it was, and Quincy's, and like all of that whole universe I've definitely missed, and I'm glad that it's back. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing, man. I have this sleepy baby next to me in his lounger, and during the very late hours of the night, and I'm just kind of catching up on shows and drawing and working on Inktober, which has been another pretty huge undertaking. Um, I just decided to do witches and not follow really any prompts. It kind of freed me up a bit from being kind of tethered down to, like, it's funny that the prompts are made to help somebody come up with ideas, but I feel like I do better without a direction, and I just like kind of go in and start with a pose and work from there. But um, not being restricted to a prompt actually helped me get them done a lot faster because I'm working under a bit more of a tight timeline with a newborn. So if I'm not trying to constantly think about, like, for example, one of the prompts was scallop, and I didn't really, I sat there for like 20 minutes just trying to draw and sketch out something that could be related to it, and it just wasn't hitting. So I was just like, forget this, man. I'm not going to waste time. And, more power to everybody who does follow the prompt. And I did follow the prompts for like the past 3 years, but this year it just felt pretty freeing to draw whatever. And that's pretty much how Inktober is going for me. I fractured my wrist at day 21, so after day 21, they're all gonna be a little bit more shaky. The rest of them, because I wanted to still finish them. I didn't want to like drop it halfway through, and I'm also using Inktober as an opportunity to promote my Kickstarter for my graphic novel Sincerely Elise, and that just like seemed like a great way time to line it up, just because I'm giving the audience new content every day while at the same time still being able to promote this Kickstarter that's going on at the same time. Um, and so that's why I decided to do it all in October, and it's been pretty busy, but I'm almost halfway done, and we're funded. The project's funded, so that's all that matters. Everything that comes after that is like helps me supplement the rest of whatever everything else is going to cost, from all of the rewards to the stickers, bookmarks to prints to shipping. Because I just kind of ballpark it usually when I start these campaigns. I get the amount of the print job, and basically we'll add like an extra couple thousand as a as wiggle room for shipping and all the rewards and everything else. But usually shipping is what kind of eats away at it. Um, like my last Kickstarter, for the Collections 2 book, it was a $10,000 funding goal, and the profit I made for that was like $500, I think. So it gets pretty expensive, but my goal is to just get it out there, and I just want people to see it and read it and consume and all of that. I'm not really too worried about making money from it. I just am happy that people are enjoying my art for what it is. And this project, especially with it being my own graphic novel that I've like written and drawn and dedicated all this time to, um, the last thing I'm worried about is making money off of it. It's just been this passion of mine that I am just so excited. I think there's 91 people right now that are backing the project, and just the fact that 91 people want to read this thing that I created in my head that started from scratch, it just means the world to me. And that's all that really matters, is putting something out in the world that came from my head. And it, like I'll read through it sometimes, and I'll just think to myself, like, man, I like each chapter was a pretty crazy chapter of my life. Like the second chapter, while I was drawing it, I remember being on the plane to go down to California. I live in Washington, but I I flew down to California to um, go to my granny's funeral. I know that's pretty dark, but it's something that happens in life, and she lived a very, very long, fulfilling life. But it's just like I got married when I was working on chapter 6, I believe, and on my honeymoon, like I was able to squeeze out a couple pages while we were just kind of watching TV or something. And there's just so many chapters in my life that, like really huge chapters, that happened as I was working on chapters of this story. And I don't know, it's just kind of fun to flip and open the book, and I'll see one of the pages, and it'll like kind of be a memory of whatever I was doing at that time. And yeah, making a comic is nuts, man. There's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of like consistency that you need to get used to. You have to kind of understand what your limits are and set up a schedule, or else it won't be made. And the one thing that helped me is I made 2 pages a week, and it was just enough for me to not be like going crazy over it. I mean, sure, it took way longer. Like, I'm sure people are able to make 240-page graphic novels in way less than 5 years, but it just wasn't the main priority. It was just something I've been doing for fun, uh, because, I'm an old guy that has a lot of responsibilities. Had to go tend to the baby. You can probably hear him coughing a little bit in the background, but he's all good. Um, he's awake now. You can hear him, which means I should probably wrap this up pretty soon. But yeah, it's. I just want to say that this graphic novel has been a passion of mine since I was a kid. Making a comic and actually like getting through to the end has been a pretty hard goal, but I'm definitely going to see this one through. And this is only part one of 2 more volumes. And, I'm not the type that wants to keep making different stories. I just like having one long, fun fantasy adventure epic that I could just keep revisiting. And I got it all written out, so it's just about drawing it. And it's always nice to have it when there's nothing else going on. And, but yeah, I think I've talked enough at you guys. Here's how the drawing came out. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing me kind of work through it, and hopefully you are cool with me just talking about whatever while I put on a drawing in the background. And if you want to see the real stuff, like tutorials and everything, I decided to move all that over on my Patreon. Because I gotta make money somehow, and that's one of the ways we all gotta make money somehow. And I hopefully you did appreciate some of my tutorial-esque stuff prior to making this Patreon, but yeah, and there's a bunch of other stuff like never before seen drawings that I don't post to socials, and some spicy drawings.
Sorry, there was a problem with the app.
Shoot! I just got interrupted by Siri. She's trying to say, okay, wrap it up, and same with my son. So yeah, if you would like to check out the Kickstarter for Sincerely Elise, the book that I was just yammering on about for like the past 5 minutes, that's actually live right now, and I'll leave a link in my bio. And yeah, thanks again. If you are anybody who just listened and heard me out, I truly appreciate any and all of your support. I am still kind of baffled that I have an audience in the first place. I'm so grateful for it, and even if it's like 1 or 2 people, I'm glad to just talk to them. Oh, he's starting to get sad. All right, everybody, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good day. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to hear more. All of that stuff. I will catch you in the next one. Sorry about my vacuum being so loud right next to me.